If you're ignoring the strange signals in the silver market, you could be missing out on one of the biggest wealth transfers of this decade. Now, while everyone's distracted by stocks and crypto, a mysterious 10-hour trading halt and some very quiet moves by central banks suggest the real parabolic move is actually happening in a forgotten asset. By the end of this breakdown, you are going to understand the key forces driving silver to potential triple-digit prices and how a new technology is unlocking it for absolutely everyone. So, let's just dive right into this, starting with a truly bizarre event that has the market buzzing. This quote, it perfectly captures the feeling on the trading floors when the world's most critical commodities market just went dark. It sparked a total firestorm of conspiracy theories.
Okay, so back in late 2025, something happened that basically pulled back the curtain on the whole global financial system, and it revealed some serious signs of stress happening just beneath the surface.
What's so wild here is the gap between the official story and what people on the inside were saying. The official line was a simple cooling issue. I mean, come on, as if one air conditioner could bring down the entire global commodities market. Traders just weren't buying it. The real story, the whisper story, pointed to something way, way bigger. A colossal 400 million ounce physical silver delivery order, rumored to be from China, that the system just couldn't handle. It seems like the only way to avoid a catastrophic default was to literally pull the plug. But see, this glitch, it isn't some isolated incident. It's really just one move in a much larger global chess game being played by the world's biggest financial powers. And the prize? Control of hard assets. Let's look at who's making moves. We're seeing some major strategic repositioning. JP Morgan is reportedly shifting its entire gold trading desk from New York all the way to Singapore. China is quietly building up enormous reserves. Some people estimate that only 10% of what they're buying is ever actually reported. And then you have Russia making a landmark move into silver. You have to understand, this is a massive flight to physical precious metals, and it's a flight away from the traditional Western financial centers.
And this number, this could be what kicks the whole thing off. The Russian central bank has committed an initial $535 million to start stacking silver for its national reserves. Now, this is huge because it's the first time a major central bank is officially adding silver. This could trigger a massive chain reaction, kind of like game theory, where other nations feel like they have to race to do the same before all the supply is gone.
This chart really shows you the global shift in demand perfectly. Asia is now buying up half of all the physical gold available. Now, I know this chart is about gold, but the spillover effect is what's so critical here. It tightens the entire precious metal supply, which puts immense pressure on the much smaller silver market. So you've got soaring demand from entire nations and a physical supply that's getting tighter by the day. Now, a new technology is set to come in and act as the ultimate accelerant. We're talking about opening the floodgates for a tidal wave of new investors. Right? Here's the crucial point. Tokenization solves every single historical problem with owning physical silver. You worried about somebody stealing your bars? You've got digital security. Don't want to pay storage fees? Gone. Worried about fake bars? Not an issue with audited, verified tokens. I mean, you can't exactly walk through an airport with a giant bag of silver, but you can carry millions of dollars in tokenized silver right there on your phone. And this chart just puts the opportunity into perfect perspective. Look at the daily volume for Bitcoin, around $77 billion. Now look at tokenized gold, already a massive $18 billion market. And then look at tokenized silver. It's barely even visible. But that's not a weakness, you see. It's a sign of the immense untapped potential for growth as this market finally wakes up.
You know, if you're getting value from this breakdown and you want to stay ahead of these kinds of market shifts, just take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to Crypto Global News. It really helps us bring you more insights like this, and honestly, it makes a huge difference.
Okay, next up, let's look at how all of this is building a direct bridge for, potentially, trillions of dollars in crypto to flow directly into silver. This is what it's all about. The debasement trade. It's the core strategy driving a whole new generation of investors. Look, if you grew up with digital assets, you get this instinctively. Holding your profits in dollars just means you're watching inflation eat them away. This generation isn't just accepting that loss, they're actively looking for a hedge. And this right here is the new playbook. In past cycles, you'd see crypto investors rotate their profits from Bitcoin into even riskier altcoins. Well, now they're smarter.
They're capturing their gains, and instead of just gambling on the next meme coin, they're rotating those profits into stable, tokenized real-world assets, like gold and silver, to actually preserve the wealth they've created.
Now, this isn't all just theory. There are specific dates and events coming up on the calendar that could act as major catalysts and basically prove this entire thesis right.
So, keep your eyes on these signposts. Russia's decision in mid-December, that's the immediate fuse. If they confirm, the global race is officially on. Next, watch for a major player, someone like Tether, to launch a tokenized silver product. That would just unleash massive liquidity. And in the background, keep an eye on the EU, where nations like Italy are fighting for their own gold reserves. That's another clear sign that governments are prioritizing hard assets over paper promises. So what's the takeaway here? It's pretty clear. What we're witnessing is the convergence of two incredibly powerful forces. First, you've got a fundamental supply shock, as nations start to hoard physical silver. And second, you've got a new technology-driven demand shock, as tokenization makes silver accessible to millions of new investors. This combination is creating a truly explosive setup. And really, that's the question we want to leave you with. With its price being historically low compared to gold, and all of these powerful catalysts lining up, could this be the ultimate asymmetric bet? You know, a trade where the potential upside is just exponentially greater than the downside? As the old financial system continues to fracture, this forgotten metal, now supercharged by new tech, well, it's definitely one to watch.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.